5 Americans wrongfully detained in Iran for years are now free and have landed in Qatar. In exchange, Tehran now gets $6 billion in frozen assets. The White House is defending the move. The critics are slamming as paying a ransom. Joyful reunions today as 5 Americans wrongfully detained in Iran for years were released in a high-stakes prisoner exchange, 3 of them linking arms as they landed before returning to the U.S.
Husbands and wives, fathers and children, grandparents can hug each other again.
The freed Americans include Siamak Namazi, imprisoned for nearly 8 years, and Imad Shargi and Morhad Tabaz, both arrested in 2018. All 3 accused of espionage and locked up in an infamous prison in Tehran. The 2 other Americans have not been identified. To secure their release, the Biden administration freed 5 Iranian prisoners held on nonviolent crimes and gave Tehran access to $6 billion in oil revenues that had been frozen under U.S. sanctions. Republican critics say it amounts to a ransom payment.
These monies can be used to support terrorist organizations, Hezbollah, Hamas.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken insisting the funds can only be used for humanitarian needs like food and medicine.
Absolute oversight of how they're used.
But in an exclusive interview with NBC's Lester Holt, the Iranian president said his government will decide where the money goes.
Humanitarian means whatever the Iranian people needs. So this money will be budgeted for those needs.
Iran's leader and President Biden are preparing to meet with world leaders at the UN General Assembly in New York, just as the newly freed Americans return to U.S. soil. The U.S. and Iranian presidents are not expected to meet one-on-one in New York, but this prisoner deal is seen as a breakthrough in relations between the 2 countries.